Don't forget to click the subscribe button, comment down below, like this video, and click the bell icon to be notified. Sorry there was no video yesterday. Day before, I wasn't feeling good. It was just a cold and I literally slept it off. But I slept the whole day and just rested. Now I feel fine. So it wasn't the Ovid, guys. But it was like the snow day when I picked up Victoria. Like I started to feel congested and then I fell asleep at like, I want to say I fell asleep at like 7 o'clock and stayed asleep through the next day at about 8:30 in the morning. And I went, holy cow, like, and I still didn't feel good. Like my face hurt and I was stuffy and I just stayed down all day and I feel good today. It's been a cold because I'm fine now. And I don't think that's Ovid. So, Donna reminded me the little white table is done, but she said, don't forget to give it fancy underwear. That's our signal for painting the underneath a bright color because both of us are so sick of painting white. If you're painting furniture for resale, you're probably sick of painting white too. So I'm going to give her some fancy underwear today. And I think I'm going to do red because, well, you know what? I have this all-in-one paint out here. Hang on. One of my fellow picket fence gals commented that my workshop seemed really organized and clean. And I'm like, you only see half of it. I have this one. This all-in-one paint is called Mediterranean. Let's give it a Mediterranean pair of underwear. I was going to do bright red, like make it the Manola Blahniks of this piece, but let's use this. It's a little, this is a little dark for most of the projects that I have to work on, so maybe I'll get brave after using it for some special underwear. Well, let me get set up. So tomorrow I have to go pick up my check at Picket Fence and I want to load my car with stuff to go to fill the second booth. So even if that vendor's not done emptying her booth, I'm going to stick it in my primary booth just to have it there. And then Tuesday I have to pick up like a butt ton of groceries because I haven't grocery shopped in over a month. My family's like, what do we have for dinner? I'm like, what's left? I don't know. Like, I ate tuna. I ate all the tuna for lunches, and so there was a lot in that pantry, but the freezer is, you know, how did that happen? I need to look at this stuff again because I feel like I had a lot of food and now I feel like we don't. At the same time, I ordered the stocking stuffer candies and stuff like that to pick up. I know I'm out of water and I'm out of coffee. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants me dehydrated and without caffeine. It's not a thing you want. So I'm going to paint the bottom of this. And then I'm going to crack the white out again and finish that small piece and this frame. I decided to remember the pink frame that I didn't like. I'm going to hit it with some white and just let the pink show through. And it's actually starting to look kind of cute. I already did like a dry brush on it. So I want to get just a little bit more on it. And then we're going to put it on the floor. Because I'm like, it's okay. Not great, but it's okay. So let's get the Mediterranean rock and roll here. It looks really pretty and nautical. The blue looks really pretty with the white. On its own, it kind of scared me when I started painting that one. I was like, no, it's too blue. It's too dark. It's too dark. But with the white, tempering how deep the tone is on that Mediterranean, it's kind of pretty. Not gonna lie. Looks like a very nautical, but then of course I've screwed up and hit the edges with some blues, and when I'm painting white, I'm gonna have to touch up. Always paint the underwear first. Always paint the underwear first. If you're gonna drip on the white, you're gonna show. It's gonna show. So, yeah. I'm gonna get the white out and start doing the frame, and then the other projects that needed to be recoated with white, and move on. So while I was down, I still prepared for Minneapolis Vintage Market, wrote some tags and stuff like that. But what I was thinking was, I've received no confirmation from them. So I'm a little panicked. I contacted the girl who told me about Minneapolis Vintage Market, and I said, it just seems like there's very little communication. And she goes, yeah, there's none. And she said, like, the Thursday before the sale, they'll finally give you a confirmation and like a map of where you'll be. And I'm like, the Thursday before? Oh my God. And she said, I know I'm way hyper organized and I don't like stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not hyper organized, but for stuff like that, I want information sooner. You know what I mean? Like, hey, welcome, new vendor. Here's how it's going to go down. This is what you need to know. Instead, it's just radio silence. They use Eventbrite to register. And basically, Eventbrite sends it like you've got a ticket. And I'm going, no, I don't want a ticket. I'm part of the show, right? That's just not good. It doesn't work good. Okay. Got the knob done. So here's that frame that I was talking about. Remember, I did the pink on it, and I don't so much love the pink, so it's going bye-bye. The rose gold, supposedly. It's super pink for rose gold. Doesn't even have that gold flavor to it. So I'm just calling it pink. I'm covering it with white. The pearl metallic pink. You can call it rose gold if you want, but it ain't. But I don't know if you guys have ever done vintage markets, or you're, you know, maybe some of you are getting ready to do vintage markets, but you kind of expect them to say, hey, welcome, new vendor. You know, this is what you need to know. This is what we'd like you to do. And, you know, here are our hashtags, something along those lines, so that you can kind of go, oh, what's going on? Maybe someday I'll start my own vintage market and I'll be able to be like, okay, do all the things I wish had been done. And that aren't done. This is like a terrible setup today because I have nowhere to put this down. And I can't hit the bottom. So, because it's got to sit on the floor. Lean it against the litter box and paint it. That's functional. But anyway, the Minneapolis Vintage Market is 1 week from today. Actually, 6 days from when you'll see this, when this video posts. And it's given me wicked anxiety to have, like, no information. Like, for real, I want somebody to say, hey, this is how it goes. Here's where you'll park. You have 90 minutes to set up. I mean, I had to go looking for that information. It's not like they even send you a link. The Eventbrite thing doesn't say, here's a list, here's a link to frequently asked vendor questions, or nothing. It was just like, you have tickets. I have tickets? I don't want tickets. I want to be at the event. 20-year-olds. The youngins are running the show at these markets. And you know what? They're the ones buying, so I can't even say anything. But it's like, as a vendor, you'd like more information. And I think after you go the first couple times, you're just used to how they just don't tell you anything. But as a new vendor, you kind of see that as a glaring problem. I see it as a glaring problem, at least. Like, I want some information. Somebody talk to me. I did email them before I talked to this other girl, and I just said, hey, you know, I'm worried I did something wrong because I haven't seen anything from you guys. I still haven't heard back from them, so they could mitigate that from new vendors by just having a vendor frequently asked question link in the Eventbrite thing and say, hey, we send out the map on Thursdays. You'll get all the information on Thursday. That's short notice, guys. I mean, it's short setup, short notice. And the girl who runs this is supposedly from England, and you know, they have their market days, and she's mimicking that. And I'm like, can you imagine how stressed out they are about this in the UK? I mean, are they just like way more relaxed about not knowing anything? I used to work for a British company, and they over communicated. Except the owner, when he wanted to screw me out of a bunch of money. Then it was no communication at all. I'm not bitter at all. I'm a lot bitter, actually. So there you go. 20 some odd years later, I'm still bitter. So let's, it was a lot of money, guys. I'm going to get this stuff done.
Visit my blog, peonylanedesigns.com, for more tips, tricks, and inspiration. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll be notified of new videos. I post every week, DIY tutorials, and of course, more junkin' videos.